Hello, and welcome to week 3 of our winter intercession course for Math 091. So if we're starting week 3, you know what that means? We're halfway done with the course. It's a 4-week course. So look at how far you've come in just 2 short weeks. You guys are doing amazing. I'm seeing lots of scores of 100% on your homework and your quizzes. And the last exam, very, very good job you guys did on the last exam. So now you're prepared and you know what the expectations are for the next upcoming exam, exam 2. So I just want to briefly go over some of the items that you can expect to work on in week 3 and some of the things I want you to definitely pay attention to. So if we go and look in our modules for week 3, let's see what we have coming up. Let me scroll down to our week 3 module. So definitely make sure you look at the week 3 overview. One of the things I want to make sure that you're aware of is that during this week, when you're working on units 9, 10, and 11, you will be graphing lines. Now, when you're working within the Moore system, most of your graphing is done on the computer. You just plot 2 points and you use the tool on the computer to draw the straight line. But you still have to make sure that you know how to graph a line by hand using graph paper. So I have this video right here. If you go in week 3, I do have a video that walks you through the steps for graphing a line accurately and precisely using graph paper. And then if you don't have your own graph paper, I do have a link right here for you to download your own graph paper and you can print this off. You will need 1 sheet for exam 2, 1 sheet of actual graph paper for you to graph a line, but it would probably be a good idea to print out some more sheets or to buy some more graph paper. So when you're working in the homework, you can graph it by hand. That is instilling good habits so you know how to graph the line. And then once you graph it by hand on paper, then you can go ahead onto the computer if you're working on a homework assignment or a quiz and then pick 2 points and graph the line on the computer as well. So you want to make sure you're able to do it in both modalities, on the paper and also on the computer. Okay, so let's go back to week 3. So you will need graph paper for your homework and for your exam. And then make sure you view the page getting ready for exam 2, just so you know all the guidelines for the exam. And then exam 2 is going to be due on January 2nd. So that is Monday night this week. And then make sure you are uploading your written work as soon as you are done with exam 2. I posted an announcement on December 23rd, and that had one of your classmates' samples of his written work from the practice exam. He did a really nice job of showing all his steps, showing how he went from the beginning of the problem all the way to the end and arrived at the correct answer. And one of the main things you need to know about showing your work is that you should imagine as if somebody else would be able to look at your work and follow your thought process step by step by step without having to guess where you got your answer from or without having to fill in any of the gaps along the way. You should have everything there. It's like a rule book for how to solve a problem. It's like, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then there's no questions as to where you got your answer or how you went from one step to the next. So you definitely want to make sure you're showing all your work. So go look at that announcement from December 23rd to see a great example of what it means to show your work. We have We Meet this Wednesday, We Meet Wednesday at 10 a.m. So hopefully you are able to join us. Again, if you can't stay for the whole hour, that's fine. If you just want to pop in and say hello, maybe just have 1 or 2 quick questions. But I am online at 10 a.m. till 11 a.m. that day to answer any questions or, help you in any way that I can and just get some real face-to-face time there. You have units 9 and 10 that are due on January 4th. Unit 11 is due on January 6th, and then in between there, you have a discussion board called How to Study for an Exam. So we've already taken 1 exam, but we still have 2 exams left, exam 2, 3, and then we also have the final exam. So now we're going to do a discussion board where you're going to watch a video that gives you tips for the best way to study and prepare for an exam. So the idea is go back and think about what you did to prepare for exam 1. And now that you've taken exam 1 and you know that you have some more exams coming up, maybe you want to monitor and adjust some of your study habits or some of your practices. Or maybe you'll learn some new ideas that you didn't do to prepare for exam 1, and you might think they might be a good idea to do to prepare for exams 2 and 3 and so on. And you guys can share ideas with each other. Share what worked for you, share what didn't work for you, and hopefully you can pick up some tips from your classmates. So it allows you to revise your method of studying for an exam and improve upon it. And now that you've taken at least one exam, you have a better idea of what to expect and how to better prepare for exam 2 if you feel that you need some improvements on how to prepare. So I'm looking forward to your responses to that discussion board. And then at the end of the week, just make sure you reply to one of your classmates and let them know that you appreciated their feedback. I think that's it. I don't really have anything else on my list to make you aware of. Just again, make sure that you're definitely showing your work for your exam. I have to be able to see all your steps to support your answers. And not only are you showing your work for me as your teacher, but you're building good habits within yourself. You're building good mathematical habits within yourself, and you are showing all your work to help you identify any errors that you make, and then it makes it easier if you need to go back and correct your work. You can follow the steps that you made the first time, and you can fix or troubleshoot any mistakes that you made, and you'll be less likely to make those same mistakes in the future. And it just helps you organize your thoughts, and it minimizes the errors you make, and it leads to less frustration. If you try to do everything in our head and we're just rushing through, that can get frustrating. So by having an organized place where you show your work, it really helps you as a student, and you're building those great mathematical habits to support you in your journey as you become more mature math learners. So have a wonderful week. Happy New Year. I hope you again get to spend some good time with family and friends, and I look forward to grading exam 2 because I know you guys are going to do a wonderful job. Have a wonderful day.